On the steps of that.
This should be the last one, hopefully. So, it's going kind of slow today. All right. Okay, it should be live. Yes.
Okay, is everybody there that's on Zoom? All right, I'd like to call to order the June 23rd, 2020 City Council meeting. Roll call, please.
Mayor Webb,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Sullivan,
She's mute.
She is here, but she's muted.
yes.
Alyssa?
Your connection is going in and out.
Right, are you here?
You're present, correct? Mayor Pro Tem?
I'm here, but I'm telling you that the connection is not good.
Okay, you're better now. You're coming through almost real time.
I think it's our connection.
Our connection's not good.
Councilmember Aubrey,
Here.
Councilmember Lacuro,
Here.
Councilmember McFall,
Here.
Okay, I need the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Do the pledge of allegiance, please.
No, stand, don't, oh, yeah.
Flag, but
I don't have it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Approval of the agenda, council.
Move approval of the agenda as revised.
second.
Civic announcements. It opens up for civic announcements. Anyone, any council members, any audience have any civic announcements they want to present? Hearing none.
Well, no, we gotta, he's muted.
they should be able to unmute themselves.
Yeah, they can use themselves at this point.
Hearing none, at close civic announcements. Public discussion. Anyone from the public wishing to speak, please unmute yourself.
May I?
Okay.
Pastor Scott.
Hello, everybody. Glad to see you and be with you. Just a couple quickie points. One situation, I'm here with my special need grandson, so I won't be able to stay long, but I wanted to get back and give a couple update information, especially in relationship to my efforts considering the 5G tower things. Wow, it's a whole lot more involved than I thought it was going to be. I did have one person send to me a publication from the American Red Cross, which is saying that there's no issues relating to 5G. However, if you flip a few pages or keep on looking, you'll find still people that are concerned about it. And I'm in touch with a person who works at a phone company who will try to set up an opportunity to have someone from a phone company come out and do the measurement kind of things and have a look-see as to what's going on there. But I haven't made that state connection yet. But it's proving to be a lot more interesting than I thought it was going to be, and not as easy to pass off as I thought it was going to be. So then I'll keep the pursuit going on, and when I find out more information, I'll come back and share it with you. Secondly, I really have this unction in my heart. I don't know how to go about it or if it's something that we should really consider, but for me personally, I want to, in our church, do something to salute our Hazel Park Police Department in some way. So is that okay, or how shall I proceed in checking on being able to do that?
I guess it would be all right.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Just let us know when you'd like to have something like that. Chief Buchholz, that's fine, correct? I'm sure you would make every effort to have your personnel participate in anything like that.
For sure.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we got all this emphasis going on around, and I still think it's very necessary to support and make it clear that we at Salvation Temple Church and our community support our police department, especially during this time, because they've always done very well for us. So I'll check with the chief and then see what works better for him/them, and then come back and produce a date or time. Okay.
That'd be great, Pastor Scott. He's actually here in attendance with us in the room. You can't see him because he's sitting behind the camera, but he is absolutely shaking his head, and he's absolutely willing to participate. And I think we're all grateful for the support that you just conveyed. You warmed up my heart tonight, and I appreciate your kind comments.
Okay, thank you very much. And wow, have you checked out that I-75 modernization posting update that's out there talking about that huge tunnel that they're getting ready to dig, that 4 miles from 8 to 12 and have it 100 feet deep. So it's quite interesting. And therefore, we in our church and churches along the service drive there are going to have to be dealing with that issue through 2022. So it's going to be quite important for us to stay alert and get our congregation members situated about pressing the issue to come on along. So thank you so very much, and we'll be back in touch.
All right, thank you. Any other public discussion?
Jesse.
Jesse?
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Council, or sorry, apologies. Jesse Robertson, 23353 Hoover Avenue. Good evening, Mayor, Council, and everyone else on this call, as well as those watching. Tonight I've come before you to speak on behalf of an application I have submitted to the council. This is both for the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority as well as the Historical Commission. If the latter is not needed, please disregard it. I originally applied to join both of these commissions approximately 2 years ago, back in August of 2018. I received an appointment to the Historical Commission on the 14th of that month, and after being personally interviewed and vetted by our city manager, I received his endorsement and was appointed to the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority on the 28th. During the past 2 years, it has been both an honor and a privilege to serve on these two commissions. On the Historical Commission, I was able to help with substantial expansion of our Hazel Park Historical Museum, both the acquisition and display of new artifacts, many of them loaned from city residents, as well as the installation of multiple installations of art on the outside of the building. Amidst all that, the museum has hosted a few events to establish it both as an important fixture of the city and as something to foster closer connections with the city's most important partner, the Hazel Park School District. On the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, I personally actually made the motion to approve what has arguably been one of the biggest deals in our city's history by giving the go-ahead to Ashley Capital's Tri-County Commerce Center plan. The former racetrack can soon become a major job-providing property. And because we negotiated the plan's tax capture rate down to only 77%, that means it will immediately become an improved tax-generating property as well. Although we are in the midst of the worst pandemic to strike America in a century, thanks to my experience with these commissions, I know that great things are still happening in Hazel Park, even today. And I very much look forward to the opportunity to help ensuring that great things continue to happen in Hazel Park for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. And I did turn in your application to the city clerk that you dropped off to me today. Anyone else wishing to speak from the public? please unmute if you do. If not, I'm closing public discussion. Approval of the consent agenda of the revised.
I move approval of the consent agenda as revised, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Any dissension, discussion from the council members via satellite here? Okay, thank you. Administrative reports, item 1, ordinance to amend chapter 2.48.02 composition vacancy of chapter 2.48 of the Hazel Park Municipal Code Historical Commission, second reading. Council, what's your wish?
I'll move approval of the amended ordinance.
Second.
Item 2, resolution,
Call the
sorry,
question.
call the question. Any roll call? You want a roll call on it?
Just at
That's
least.
fine. We'll do a roll call.
You can do a roll call.
Councilmember LaCuro,
Yes.
Councilmember McFall,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Sullivan,
Yes.
Councilmember Aubrey,
Yes.
Mayor Webb.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, in light of the passage of that, I would like to request the appointment of Sue Hempel to the Hazel Park Historical Commission to serve as the liaison from the school district to the Historical Commission.
I'll move that. Is that a-
That's a recommendation. I can't make motions.
Let's bring it up. Let's bring it up under new
I
business.
can't make motions.
So new business?
New business.
Okay, boards and commissions. I just don't want to forget.
Boards, commissions, new
Right,
business,
that's fine.
whatever. Item 2, resolution .06.12.20.
Mayor, point of order.
Yes.
Maybe I missed this. I know we approved the agenda. Did we approve the consent agenda?
Yes, we did.
Okay, sorry. Sometimes it cuts in and out, so I wasn't sure if
We're
it was
gonna
agenda or
back-
consent.
I'm sorry. Where she goes?
She's there. She just.
Okay.
She's there.
She's
She's
She just
there.
changed positions.
She changed positions on the Brady Bunch box.
Okay. Item 2, moratorium on short-term rental establishments, Airbnb.
Mr. Mayor, I received multiple complaints from the community and from members of council as well regarding Airbnb homes used in party rentals. We need to take a look at this and draft an appropriate ordinance to regulate the use of these homes in this manner. So we have drafted for your approval a moratorium for 6 months to give us some time to come up with appropriate ordinance that regulate these types of facilities.
Council will be your pleasure.
I'd like to move that, that for the resolution, do I need to read all this? So,
No, you can move to
okay.
approve the.
Just move to approve
moratorium.
the moratorium on short-term rental establishments.
I have support.
Real quick, this is a 6-month moratorium, or is this an,
This is a 6-month moratorium so we can come up with a correct ordinance to fulfill the need of, or big void that we have in our ordinances.
I don't see that term, I don't see that time limit in here at 6 months.
It's 1, 2, 3, the fourth paragraph up from the bottom left.
I just want to make sure.
You get to the mic.
Oh, I see it expiring. I got it. Thank you.
You have it?
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you. Yep, thank you.
I guess. I guess.
You guys support it?
Yeah, I supported it.
Do you have any dissension,
I have discussion.
discussion maybe?
So for clarity and for the people listening, we do not currently license short-term rentals, correct?
Correct.
So if I'm renting out 1 bedroom in my home, I'm not required to have a license.
Correct.
Okay.
That's why we need to research.
Right,
this.
that's why we need to do additional research, because in some conditions, it would be a violation, in other conditions, it would not. It depends on
There's a lot of ambiguity here.
right.
That we have to let the law figure it out.
Right, are you a household or are you not a household? So there's a lot that needs to be taken a look at here.
In both the zoning and in zoning and code of ordinances.
Okay, so I'm a little concerned about the people that rely on this income. Maybe not the people that are renting for the purposes that have been causing the complaints, but maybe some of the smaller people that are using Airbnb or something for short-term rental to supplement their income. So I just want to make it clear, I support the moratorium, but I wonder, do we need to be clear that it's for people that are doing whole house rentals? Or is it, I mean, how are we going to enforce this and specify, you know, anybody that's, you know, if I want to rent out my bedroom for a month, you know, to somebody, I mean, am I affected by this? I kind of want to make sure the details of this are clear.
Amy, what it is right now is what we're looking for is the laws to research the issues regarding the Airbnb, the VRBOs, vacation rentals by owners, and the home away situations. And as we are researching the broader issue of these types of agreements that people are making with their homes, certainly we'll be happy to look at the other issues as to whether someone's renting a basement or a room or something. If you have that, we'll be happy to also include that in the research, Amy. But at this time, this moratorium specifically is addressing these Airbnbs, VRBOs, and home away that people are advertising and renting out their homes. And we got to be very careful to make sure they're not trying to usurp the laws that are in place for the health, safety, and welfare by way of inspections and safety certificates and licensing and such.
Okay, so, I mean, technically, as a homeowner, I could use Airbnb to rent out a bedroom to a roommate.
Well, usually what you see on Airbnbs are these short-term rentals that people come into town for concerts or other types of functions. But what we're encountering is the same people are renting over and over and over. And there's a lot of complaints about these issues and and whether these are just ways to try to usurp the ordinances for the public health and safety. So at this particular point, we will be researching these types of rental agreements, and we will look into there as to whether it's an Airbnb for a room for the weekend to attend a concert. But there is definitely the concern of them, meaning homeowners, putting these regular and ongoing rentals on the internet and renting and creating chaos and havoc in the communities. And it's quite a serious matter. We've gotten many, many calls and complaints about it. And so we will definitely keep the eye open in our research, but this is to address those specific issues of people advertising on the internet and renting out their home on a regular and ongoing basis and not having any kind of clearances or safety inspections or anything as to whether that's an appropriate thing to be done or not. So we do want to learn more about this area.
And we currently have an ordinance on the books prohibiting boarding houses, which was another phrase for a transient type establishment where you have people coming in, staying a month or 2 weeks and leaving.
Yeah.
So it does need to be looked at and researched and come back to us. And we need to probably have a work study after that research is done, so we can better get a grasp on what areas we want to cover.
Yeah.
As long as the rentals are over 30 days, you're fine. So most like roommates, room rent out situations should be fine. Short-term rental is defined as anything less than 30 days.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're looking at a very narrow subset of renters who are coming in and causing an extraordinary amount of problem at a couple houses. Basically, they're using the houses as giant party houses, and that's misuse. That's actually almost a zoning misuse anyways, because it's supposed to be a residence. It's not a hall for parties. So.
Right, and the other thing to just add too is that we have to be very cautious. If individuals are creating a landlord situation, then we have regulations that need to be followed for the safety of the individuals who are renting. We will definitely be balancing this in our research.
There's certain code requirements in which those places should be able to uphold. And you should not be able to rent out a basement because of, you have different situations there that can cause health issues.
So I understand the issue and I support the moratorium. I just want to recommend it while our staff do this review. As somebody who travels for conferences, I frequently use Airbnb as a place to stay instead of staying in hotels. When my family comes to visit, my brother, his wife, and his children utilize Airbnb to find a home to stay in instead of a hotel, so that his kids have a backyard to play in. So these are just some things. I know not all of these renters are bad. So I just want us to make sure that we take these more positive situations into consideration while we look at the ordinance, at developing an ordinance.
Okay.
One of the things that I would be interested in learning is how we're going to enforce a moratorium.
Mhm.
Do you have any idea how we would enforce that?
Well, the one that you've been receiving complaints about and forwarding over to me, we're going to issue tickets to an individual. They do not have a landlord license. So under our ordinance now, you're technically in violation. So we will be going through the court system and see if we can prosecute them for failure to obtain a landlord license.
Okay, thank you.
And if it continues, we may have to send Melissa to court to lock the house as a public nuisance at some point.
See, the issue isn't just about the people who rent may cause problems. The issue is whether the home is up to code for the safety of those who are in the home. So that's very important too. So we'll be looking at this as a very broad issue, and as well as the narrow issues, Amy.
Yeah, and we'll also be keeping in touch with the Michigan Municipal League because there are a series of bills in the legislature now dealing with Airbnbs and things like that. So it's become a hot topic in Lansing as well. And, you know, the research that we do may help the league in their position, and we may even forward our research to our lobbyists and make sure they're aware of our position on it after we take a position after we do the research.
Okay.
I have a question also along the lines of how to enforce. My question would be, if we're similar to Mike McFall's question about how we're enforcing, my concern is a few levels, including Amy's as well. And as somebody who used Airbnb after my fire to have places to stay that were safe and that had accommodations where I could actually live, not a hotel room. I definitely see both sides of the issue. I want to make sure that we're protecting the people that rent the properties. I want to make sure that we're protecting the owner of the properties. I want to make sure that we're protecting the neighbors in the area of the properties as well. My thought being, like Councilmember McFall said, the enforcement, if we're currently able to enforce under the no landlord license and they're renting, then are we considering seeking landlord licenses for every Airbnb in our city? Is that where we're headed with this?
And that may in fact be the case. If you're going to use it as an Airbnb, you probably should have a landlord license, and we probably should do an inspection at least every other year, like we do for any other rental, just to ensure health and
Probably
safety situation in the city.
Well, that's the questions we need to have
Yeah.
after we do the research and have a work study, so we can have better information and move forward with whatever decision we come up with.
Yeah,
In
there's
the meantime, we need to have a moratorium so our lawyers can do the research and come back to us with a comprehensive plan.
So I'm on Airbnb right now, and I'm easily scrolling through 10, 12, 14 rental properties, everything from rooms to whole homes. I think that Detroit they've been working on a really good legislation there as well for these. And I think that's something we should invest in. And I'm not saying I don't support this motion either. I just wanted to have some more discussion out there.
Yeah, and I think our lawyers can come back with something in the next 3 months even, or 2 months. So
Great.
we can sit down and have a work study and some more ideas on our comments and our goals and what we'd like to see. And then it may take 6 months, it may take 4 months, but we need to stop work and play at this point to be better, to get a better grasp.
So then anybody that's currently listed on Airbnb right now as a rental property would be in violation of this moratorium.
Yes, ma'am.
Only if they were engaged in short-term rentals.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, that's all it is. Yeah.
We're really looking at anything less than a week, I think.
Art,
2 weeks.
I have a question.
Good.
How are we going to disseminate the information on the moratorium? Is something going to go out to all landlords to at least cover those that are licensed? Some other public information, and are we going to have like a phased in enforcement to allow time for this information to get out there?
We'll post on social media and probably send it to Airbnb. So there's better, it would probably be 30 days after. We've got to give it time to take effect anyways.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we have a good campaign to disseminate this information. Not everybody's on social.
At least give it 30 days so it can be, before we do any enforcement. Unfortunately, we have to give that kind of, I think it's a good idea to give any kind of new ordinance that time frame.
Well, I think, again, we're targeting a specific problem, so if we get that specific problem, we'll take action on that tonight, because that's a problem. But I think for general, just use of the service, yeah, 30 days or, again, enforcement is needed. I think, we can apply common sense, but it's going to be a very interesting issue, I think, to do a deep dive on, and I'll be interested to see what you guys come up with in terms of your final decision for how we're going to handle this.
Okay. Any other discussion from council? All right, motion passes. Takes us to boards and commissions. Mr. Klobuchar had a recommendation for the historical board.
Mr. Mayor, I recommend the appointment of Sue Hempel to the Hazel Park Historical Commission to represent the Hazel Park School Board.
I'd like to make that motion to have Sue Hempel represent the school board on the Hazel Park Historical Commission.
I'd like to support Mike.
Sorry, I'll wait next time.
Anyone else? Discussion?
I have some discussion, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, members of council, I have invited the Historical Commission to meet on Thursday night at 6:30. I've got Jeff Campbell will help me set up a Zoom meeting, and we'll be sent out to those folks so that we can have a meeting we discussed with them and go over policies and procedures for future commission meetings and the occupation of the Hazel Park Historical Museum. As you know, both you and the school board have approved the lease. The lease has been signed. It is a 1-year lease. So we look forward to resolving all of this, reopening the museum under appropriate guidance and supervision, and hopefully being part of something that is good for the entire community, to benefit the entire community.
Any other boards, commissions, appointments? Do we have a motion on that? Do we have a support on that? Do we have any discussion? Okay, we're done. Motion passes. New business, anyone have any new business?
Mr. Mayor, this is Jeff Campbell, Community Development Director. We have two folks on the call, specifically council has presented and submitted to me to ask two applicants, the two micro business applicants, some specific questions. So I'm going to ask first, which would be BDT Honey CRG1, I believe is sort of, but we'll call them BDT Honey, and Argonamod, I believe is the other one. And there's just some simple general questions I'm going to ask. We're not going to engage in any other debate or discussion besides answering these questions. So I'll start with, I don't know who the representative that's going to speak on behalf of Argonamod is, but if they could introduce themselves, and then I will begin just some simple questions we've asked a number of the applicants.
Okay.
This is David Newman.
David, David, you're not the, I assume, are you the owner? Who's the, you're not the, a member of the application process, is my understanding. So if it's Mr. Santangelo, that's fine, or his designated representative, whoever that might be.
Yes, there's it's Ed Santangelo on the line, and also Doug Maines. Doug, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so I'm direct these questions to you guys, and then just to, you know, again, it's not going to be a back and forth too much. What kind of wages are we looking for your employees? What kind of wages were you proposing?
The wage amounts will depend upon the job itself. There'll be higher wages because of the fact that we'll be looking for people who have certain skills. So it's not minimum wage positions. So I would say that the average wage is going to be probably about $22 an hour.
What would be the lowest then? Just
probably about $16 an hour at the very low.
Okay. So then, so we've talked to other dispensaries, and we're kind of looking. Obviously, this is a micro business. So would you explain what sets apart a micro business from a regular dispensary? When you walk into it, what will it visually look like? How will it be different than a regular dispensary?
Well, the difference is that under a micro business, the intent by the state of a micro business license was allow a small entrepreneur to participate in this business and have complete independence. What I mean by that is that a micro business is a operation in one building where you're able to grow it, process it, and sell to the public. Very much like a microbrewery, where you're actually growing the product that you're going to sell to the public. So it was geared towards really the baby boomers. It has a complete different look. If you look at our application, it looks more like a Starbucks than it does a cannabis store. It was geared towards designed to support baby boomers' needs. So it's one of the few places you can walk into where you're buying the product, you're actually talking to the family owner who actually grows it. So it's intended to be really a much more educational process compared to just going to a dispensary.
Oh, okay. How long do you anticipate to be, how long do you think it would take you to get the construction completed if you were approved?
Oh, that's a great question. We, because of the fact that under the state rules, you have to have, from the time that you apply to the state, that you have to have the building ready for inspection within 90 days. We actually are having the building, it's a modularly built building out of Alpena, Michigan. It's probably one of the only buildings that we know of that's built specifically for cannabis. So it would take approximately, I would say, from the time that we know we have a license and put the order in for the building to the time we're ready, it would probably take somewhere in the neighborhood of about 65 days. It only takes 4 days on site once the site's prepped.
Okay, that's all we had for you guys. So who is from BDT Honey?
Hi, this is Dana Elgie, and I'm here with Chuck Glenny.
Okay, hello guys. Okay, again, what kind of wages are we looking for? What kind of wages would you guys be paying, especially the minimum amount as well?
The minimum amount would be 15 to 20, but like he said, different jobs will dictate different pay rates. So 15 to 20 for the lower end, but jobs will also offer larger amounts as well.
Okay. So again, what would it be like to walk into your micro business? How would it differ from a dispensary? And yeah, sort of take us on a visual journey into the micro business.
So we're coming with the background of having BDT smoke shops, which we've had customers for the last 47 years or so. And we have so many customers who've been involved in our upcoming with the cannabis becoming medical and now recreational that people have just.
Dana, we can't hear you.
Yeah, we're losing you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
You have to
Okay.
repeat.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
we're sorry.
Okay, so with BDT, we have been a smoke shop for the last 47 years, serving the Hazel Park community. And with that, we've brought on a lot of customers who are very interested in medical side at first, and now it's recreational. So I think having those customers already involved in our upcoming since the 70s or so will be coming to the store. And when you get in, it is going to be more of a mom and pop vibe, just because with the larger stores, you get product from all over the place. And with us, it is, you're going to be able to walk in, maybe even see some of the process. You'll see people who grow it involved in the entire process, unlike a lot of larger corporations where you don't know where the product came from. They may have grown it, they may have gotten it from 20 different people. So it is like a microbrewery where it's all in the same building, and it's going to be a family run business as much as we can. And yeah.
Okay. Again, how long do you think, if approved, it would take you to construct your micro business?
If approved, that's something we're still reviewing a little bit, but we're hoping to be able to get in about 3 months, I would say. But that would be once we apply for the state.
Okay. And lastly, this one's to BDT because of the proposed cannabis museum. How will the cannabis museum be incorporated into that space? I mean, will there be a separate entrance to the public, or will there be will it be incorporated into the space for patrons of the micro business only, right? So is there a chance for other people who might not be interested in the micro business portion of it to be able to go into the museum? Or
yes, of course. Yeah, we're still working on the design for the cannabis museum, but yes, exactly. You wouldn't have to be going through any dispensary doors. We would have separate entrance for the museum.
Okay, that's all the questions that were submitted.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, any other new business from anyone? Communications from department heads? Chief?
Sorry, one quick question to each. Sorry, how many employees would you have at each location, just out of curiosity? So Ed, why don't you go first, and then.
Sure. We'll have 10 employees at each at the microbusiness location.
Okay. And Dana?
I would say 10 to 14 employees.
Okay, thank you guys. Sorry.
Come tell us about fireworks, Chief.
First of all, since he was there, Pastor Scott was there.
There's a chair right behind you.
This'll work. Anyways, I just want to say thanks to Pastor Scott for the support. We really need that in this time right now. So we know we have good residents and business owners that still care about us and support us. So thank you very much, and I look forward to talking to you about that.
Sure.
Thank you. As far as the fireworks, it is a civil infraction. Since it's a civil infraction, the officers have to observe it, know exactly who did it or is participating. So it makes it a challenge that way. It's not just a problem in Hazel Park. It's all over this county, this other counties, this state, this whole country. It seems like either you
I sent a message to them to let them know that they froze. Hopefully they will be back shortly.
That ain't good.
What was that, Jesse?
That ain't good. They disconnected. Oh, they're there.
And
I
they're
did.
moving.
I did too. Everything's frozen.
Okay, I was saying to the chief, thank you for doing the patrols over there and the ongoing patrols. The officers are actually giving us nice warnings to people, being very polite from what I understand. And some of the residents are very happy that there is patrols in that area to slow the traffic that was coming off of John R. at 35, 40 miles an hour. And of course, we have to deal with this for another month or two. And hopefully our bridges will open up in August, is what we're projecting. We hope.
Thank you. Yeah, we're trying. It's been a tough year in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're looking forward to some of this construction getting over.
Anyone else, any other department heads want to talk?
Jeff, do you have anything? Lacey, do you have anything?
No.
I want to compliment
What's
both
up?
Jeff and Lacey for the outstanding work that they've done. Lacey did a great job with the end of the year budget amendments, so I want to thank her for that. And Jeff, all the hard work.
I do want to thank Tom Jones for taking care of that street sweeper that we forgot to mention in our consent agenda.
Yes, we're selling a street sweeper and we're going over to Pleasant Ridge and hopefully give them a few years of good service, like it's given us many years of good service. So big thank you to Tom Jones for that as well. And of course, James Finkley, who I always forget during comments from department heads, but he does an outstanding job. He's really getting busier and busier for this election. So you keep up the good work as well.
Okay, comments from the city attorney?
I have nothing this evening, thank you.
And I will thank Melissa and Amanda for all their hard work lately and Jeff Campbell for pitching in on the legal side as well.
City manager?
Just to echo a little bit about what Chief said about the fireworks, I've got in my hand here an article from the Washington Post entitled, "Who Will Solve the Great Fireworks Mystery and Will We Ever Sleep Again?" So fireworks proliferation is not something that is unique to Hazel Park. It is a national phenomenon this summer. For the Washington Post speculates a variety of reasons. I urge everybody to read the article. It's kind of interesting, but for whatever the reason, folks are using a lot more fireworks this year, and I would please ask them to be courteous of their neighbors. Try to use the fireworks on the days where they are permitted. Do not use the fireworks after 11:45 p.m. Be considerate of any neighbors that you may know of that are adversely affected by fireworks. Be considerate of pets in the neighborhood. Just basically, I don't think anybody was intending anyone to light off fireworks every night all summer. So it is a civil infraction. It is it's a $1,000 fine if we catch you, and we will write that ticket and we will issue that fine.
And
So
if I could just add something, please clean up your mess. Littering is a violation of the law. No one wants to see that trash and garbage and debris everywhere. So please clean up your mess and be courteous. If it lands all over the neighborhood, then go all over the neighborhood and clean up your mess, please. It's very, very important. Children could get hurt on those things, and so could animals, and it's just blight in the neighborhood. So please be courteous.
and again, reason why we should
They're rebooting again.
Yeah, I was just gonna come on and say that. Thanks, Amy. I should keep these kittens out here and just pop them up for entertainment in between.
Amanda keeps bringing her little pup.
She keeps popping up. She's being a bit of a. There's a storm.
Now I'm waiting for you to show the puppy.
Oh, there's a storm coming or something, right? Hold on.
Maybe.
Yeah, or at least windy.
She's acting crazy, so that's what I was thinking. Here she is.
Oh, there we go. What's your
Wait,
name?
hold on. Gracie. Here, I got to
Gracie.
turn off my virtual background.
Yeah, their virtual background is like hiding.
I know. She oh man, she's gonna, oh God, she's gonna give me kisses. It's gonna happen. Hold on. Mwah. I mean, I don't mind it, but I'm like, oh Lord, it's gonna happen. Here she
You just
is.
look like you're kissing your imaginary plant now. There it is.
No, here she is. But she's, I can tell there's a storm coming because she's acting weird. Sort of like how she acts with with fireworks, she's shaking and crazy. But
A little dark out.
it was really windy here earlier, so I don't know. I can't
There's
tell.
a lot of wind out here.
That might be part of the reception problem too with them. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay, we're keeping the public entertained while we wait.
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Hi, everybody on Facebook.
Mhm.
Hello.
Hello.
Gracie, you're Facebook famous, maybe. What? So how old are
Also
these
for
kids
people-
you have there, Alyssa?
They are going on 5 weeks. They're Hazel Park Community Cat TNRs. I got them at 1 day old, and I have their mom. And
I think they're back.
are they back?
They're back.
Yay!
We're back.
Yay.
Okay, no more kitten talk. Bye.
Yeah, I'll finish as fast as I can. Again, you can light off fireworks from 11 a.m. to 11:45 p.m. June 29th through July 4th. Again, there's no July 5th date this year, that they're not allowed on the 5th. It's June 29th through July 4th, 11 a.m. to 11:45 p.m. Please be courteous. If your neighbors are complaining, please accommodate them. Use common sense. And if we catch you lighting off fireworks on an approved date, you are subject to a $1,000 civil infraction. And our police department will definitely issue that ticket. So again, back to the budget, things are going to be tight, things are going to be tough. There was a shortfall this year, wholly and entirely due to COVID-19. And again, we're hoping that the following year will not be as significantly impacted, but that is a possibility. This is very tough given the fact that, of course, Michigan's system of municipal finance is fundamentally broken. So that's all I have tonight, Mr. Mayor, members of council. I will keep you posted on my meeting with the Historical Commission, and we'll move on and move forward. Thank you all.
And we'll go to City Council. Amy Aubrey, would you like to speak?
I was trying to find it, but I was having trouble finding the link. I was going to try to beat Mike to it tonight and give a census update. Last I had checked, Hazel Park was around 70%. We're a little lacking in the southwest corner of the community, so I'm rooting for you guys to come on and fill out your census. You can do it online. I want to say hi to Tim Young. Haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you again.
Here he is.
Want to thank the micro businesses for coming out and answering our questions tonight. I also want to remind everybody, obviously we have a lot of veterans in the community. We have a lot of people with pets that are afraid of fireworks. So just remember when you're popping in at the fireworks tent, there are a lot of fireworks that don't go boom. There's sparklers you can do. My favorite is the snakes. Just don't do it on your patio. They stain. Do them in the street. There's all the fun things that just spray, the sparks in the street, but things that don't go boom. It's the boom that can really trigger somebody's PTSD. You know, and we're coming up on the 4th of July, you know, we're trying to celebrate our independence, and you know, we just want to be courteous to everybody. I know it's fun, but it can be very traumatic for some people. So please keep your neighbors and keep those people in your mind when you do that. So I want to thank everybody else that came out, join us for the meeting. I think the Zoom meetings have been great. We've had a lot of people coming, participating, and a lot of people on Facebook as well. So it's really great to see, despite COVID, how well we've really been able to continue to engage with the community. I think it's fantastic. And that's all I have. So good night from me.
All right, thank you. Mike McFall,
I don't have anything.
Manny Lucero.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to thank the hard work of all the staff and people putting this together. It doesn't just happen, and you know, with the little technical glitches makes it even more difficult.
Yeah.
But, want to say, if you love somebody, tell them, and if you have kids, hug them every day and tell them you love them. Thanks for everybody in participating.
Mayor Pro Tem Melissa.
Helps if I press the unmute button. I wanted to reiterate the comments on the fireworks. Also, it's been very windy and it's been significantly warmer. Please be aware of checking on neighbors, checking your gates, making sure your pets are safe, your neighbors are safe, especially during these hotter temperatures. Don't hesitate to, you know, call the police department for a welfare check, or the animal patrol officer for a welfare check if you see an animal that seems to be struggling in the heat too. Again, thanking the staff as always. They do a great job. It is wonderful to see you here, Tim. I saw you the other day at the post office. We had a nice chat. It's nice to see you back out and about. Chief, I want to thank you for participating. I also want to thank you for your support during the demonstrations we had here in the city, and really listening to people's concerns, residents' concerns, and always being open to hearing discussion on ways to better educate and to keep improving. So thank you guys so much, and everybody stay safe.
Thank you. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out, participating, and joining us on Zoom. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I'd also like to say we have a lot of our local restaurants that are opening up part-time with the outdoor, I should say part-time, but being spaced out, and have some outdoor patios temporarily put up. Please patronize those places. Please give them your support. Every small business is struggling through this. There is some other businesses that are doing better than others, but we tried. Our restaurants are really the ones that we need to help out in a time like this to keep them afloat. Call in orders, takeout menus, or whatever you can do. Also try to support you know, your neighbor, help them out if they need something. Be respectful again. It's a matter of respect and living neck close to each other. We all make noise in our neighborhoods. We all have our outdoor activities. Play music, whatever, fireworks, whatever it is, be respectful. And with that, I'd like to say thank you for participating, and have a good evening. We have an exec session.
No.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any dissension about going home? Thank you.
For anybody still here, Hazel Park is at 71%. We are exceeding the state's average for census. So you guys are awesome.
We're already beyond net last year.
You mean a decade ago? A decade ago?
So what was our in-person response rate last decade? Or not in-person, mailed in forms?
That's gonna take me longer to find.
All right, sorry.
I'm going to grab another kitten.
Go get a
Oh, look
cat.
at this kitten.